In this video, we're going to be focusing on post-exploitation. I'll be demonstrating how you can change the desktop wallpaper on your victim machine, how you can send a video or stream a video remotely on their device, and how you can prompt a fake system update to steal their credentials. At the end of today's video, I'll be explaining how you can use privilege escalation and why privilege escalation is important for ethical hacking. All of the concepts which I'm demonstrating in today's video are purely for educational purposes. Hello and welcome to today's session on post-exploitation and malware. My name is Rob from Steam Labs, and in today's session I'm going to be showing you how you can have some fun on your victim machine today, so your target machine. Now, before we start, and as always, these videos are purely for educational purposes. You can head over to our programs page, which you can see at the bottom here, and also if you go onto our domain, you'll also be able to find our blog, information which you're not actually able to post on YouTube, and also step-by-step guides are available on our blog, and you can find this under the post-exploitation video. Now, what is post-exploitation and what are we going to be doing today? So post-exploitation is once you have gained access to your victim or your target machine, and what we're going to do on our machine today is we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to have a look at how we can change the wallpaper on our target machine, how we can play a video saying you've been hacked, which is quite fun, and the last one is how can we prompt them to install a fake update so we can then look at trying to steal their password or credentials. So to get started, I'm going to skip over these couple of things which we can see here, and we're going to have a look at how to change the wallpaper on that target machine. Now, in order for us to do this, we need to create a malicious file. We're going to be using MSFVenom to do this. Your IP and your port number are going to differ here, and obviously the name of your fake exe file is probably going to differ as well. Now, this is being done purely for ethical hacking purposes, and as a white hat hacker, in a real life scenario, what we would be doing is probably launching a phishing attack and trying to get them to download and run this exe file or whatever file we want them to run so we can get that remote backdoor, that remote access. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to my Kali Linux machine, and if you are unsure how to get access, obviously do have a look at our other videos. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to create that MSFVenom file and then download it onto our target machine. So I'm going to be using port 1235 for this one here, and I'm going to be creating a file which is called Firefox install.exe. So MSFVenom is going to create that malicious file. Now we have created that malicious file, we need to set up a simple HTTP server so we can actually download it onto our victim machine. And as I said, actually in a real life scenario, you would be trying to probably launch a phishing attack and get them to download this remotely or download it themselves. But for today's video and for the purposes of this, we are going to be just using this simple HTTP server to download the file. So here is our file. Our firewall and antivirus are deactivated. Now that we've downloaded the file on our machine, we are then going to set our payload and come back to this file in a couple of minutes time. So I'm going to open up a new Kali window. So let's just open up another session here. My shortcut button unfortunately is not working because I'm sharing keyboards between Mac and Windows. So we need to log into MSF console, which is Metasploit, in order to use our payload and use that malicious file we've created using MSFVenom. Now that we've done this, we're going to use exploit multi-handler, and I'm hoping that you can ignore the interruptions in the background here. My son is home today, so you may be able to hear him downstairs. So we're going to set our payload. We're using Windows. We are using 64-bit architecture. We are creating a meterpreter session, so we can have a remote backdoor, and we're using reverse TCP. Now that we have done this, we need to use the IP address of our Kali Linux machine. So this is where we're going to create the backdoor to. So my IP address is 1.102. Just to double check that, you can just do if config, and just to confirm I am using a 102 here. So I'm going to create that local host. I need to set a port, and if you remember, my port is 1235. I think it's 5. I think that's what I created originally. So 1235. So we need to use that same port again, otherwise this is not going to work. And then we are going to run our exploit. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. So we're going to run exploit, go back over to our Windows machine. We are going to run the file as administrator, and occasionally this does fail and I have to kind of re-record my videos and start again, so hopefully this is not one of those times. So we run the file, we've bypassed the antivirus, we go back to our Kali Linux session, and we're on meterpreter. To show you that we're on our Windows machine, I've just typed in shell, and you can see we are now on our Windows machine. We've created this backdoor. Now, what we want to do next here is we want to change that wallpaper. Okay, so in order to change the wallpaper, what we need to do is, firstly, let's head it back over to our slides so it's nice and clear for you. Gained access to our machine, and then, and these instructions look wrong somewhere. Okay, so what we're focusing on here is this here. So this image, so I'll delete this and post this underneath the video. So on our meterpreter session, we want to type BG, okay? And what we then want to do is we want to create this exploit. So this is post exploitation here. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to type on exit. We're on meterpreter, so we're going to type BG. And the command which we're typing here is going to be use post multi manage. So use post multi manage, and then I think it is set underscore wallpaper. So remember, this is the first thing which we're trying to do today. So use post multi manage set wallpaper. Now that we have done this, we're going to press on enter, and it said we've probably got a mistake here. It's manage, not manager. So very, very silly. Okay, there we go. So what we want to do here is we want to type in sessions here. So how many sessions are we running on this host machine? It is just one. So we're going to type in session number 1 here. So we want to use session number 1. So we're going to type in set and then session 1. And we're going to go back again over here, and the next thing that we want to do is we want to set wallpaper file. Now, in order for us to do this, you need to have a wallpaper or an image downloaded on your Kali Linux machine. So on mine, I've got 2 pictures of Joker. I already carried out this attack early this morning, so my Windows wallpaper is currently, let's go to our Windows machine. Our Windows wallpaper is currently this good old picture of Joker. We are going to change it to this one here. So back in Kali Linux, and moving around quite a lot now, so hopefully this is not making you, I'd say seasick, but actually computer sick. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to do set wallpaper file root desktop. So you need to make sure that you are in the correct directory. Okay, so I'm doing set wallpaper underscore file, and then it's space and then root, pretty sure it's space, and then desktop, and then my image. So /root /desktop capital D, or it will error. and I'm pretty sure it's Joker, and then if I press tab to finish, it's joker.jpg. Going to press on enter, check to see if there's any other commands that I've forgotten about. We're going to write exploit. This is going to launch that, and hopefully we are going to see a nice new wallpaper. This is our wallpaper currently. Going back over to Kali, when we run exploit, does our wallpaper change? Let's have a look, and there you have it. So I do hope that this technique, and this is a real fun technique when you're having fun with other people's machines. Let me rephrase that, your own machine. This is all about ethical hacking here, right? Changing their wallpaper is really leaving them a message that you have managed to access their device. So it's pretty cool. Alright, so I will update the slides, and I'm going to move on to the next thing here. So run through all of these things, and the next thing that we want to do here is we want to play a video. And whenever I record videos for this ethical hacking series, I always have to kind of re-record them again because I make mistakes like most people. And so I'm going to go to YouTube now, and we need to find a video, and we're going to say you have been hacked, and we're going to take this video. So I'm going to open up this video, and I'm going to use the ID of the video, so everything after the equal sign. And what I want to do is I want to stream a video directly on that target machine and demonstrate to them that they've been hacked, and I've left a video for them to watch. So compliments to this channel, so TRXZR93, thank you for obviously providing this video on YouTube. I hope that you don't mind me using it in my own video. If you do, drop me a message underneath this video. And now we are back on this machine here. What we need to do again is look back at our slides, and I'm pretty sure we need to type in BG, so present the slides, and we already have our meterpreter session, so I'm going to type in BG, and we need to actually get out of this directory here. So if I type exit, let's have a look at what happens. So exit Y. Okay, so this is a bit of a pain. I'm going to need to log back into my meterpreter session, so that is a pain. So I'm going to pause this video and come back to you in a moment. Okay, so back on my meterpreter session, I'm going to go back over to my slides, and now I am ready to begin. So what we want to do here, and I'm assuming you're on your meterpreter session, we're going to type in BG to begin. Okay, and I am on the wrong slide here, so here we go. So we're going to type in BG to begin, okay, and then we're going to use that command which we can see there. So BG, and then what we want to do is we don't want to set a wallpaper, we would like to play a video. So we need to type in use post multi manage, and then it's going to be play YouTube. Now I haven't tried this with Vimeo or any other video extension or any other video hosting service, so you need to obviously check if this works yourself. Now that I have done this, I'm going to type in sessions to make sure I've only got one session open on this victim machine, and I'm going to type in set session number 1 as I've only got one session running. I'm going to set video, and I'm going to paste in the video ID I got from YouTube. Now that I have done this, all I need to do is type either run or exploit to play that video on my target or victim machine, and it says video has started. If I go over here, it's going to say you have been hacked. Okay, so you can hear a bit of background music, a little bit funky. Okay, so fantastic. This is opened in Internet Explorer. You can obviously decide what browser it opens in. I'm not going to explore that in this video, but I do hope. Oh, that's actually fine. It's actually Brave it's opened it this time, which is good. Maybe it's because I had the browser open. Anyway, this is quite a cool technique. Obviously, I will let you explore this a little bit more. If you're one of my students, obviously, do ask me lots more questions in class. If you're not one of my students, check out our ethical hacking programs, or check out our blog, or drop me a comment underneath this video. So, last thing for today. how can we get them to install and update? Now again, I'm assuming you are in your meterpreter session already, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to write in here cd ... doesn't allow me to exit. This is really frustrating. So how can I exit here? So it says you have active sessions open. To exit anyway, type in exit Y. Okay, so I am unfortunately going to have to log back into my meterpreter session. Okay, but in order to do that, I'm not going to pause this video. I'm simply just going to open up a new window over here and quickly log back into MSF console. So all we need to do is we need to set our payload again. So we need to run maybe 3 or 4 commands to make this possible. So we use our use exploit command again, multi and handler. If you're watching this video, I put the time codes underneath so you can simply just skip this. Now again, 64-bit processor, meterpreter session, and we are using reverse underscore TCP. We need to set our IP of our Kali machine, and we need to set the port 1235, and we need to run our exploit. Okay, so on our Windows 10 machine, we are gonna right click and run as administrator again. And I do remember I said earlier in the video I'm going to show you how to use privilege escalation. So before I forget, I'm going to do that in a minute. So last thing today, we are going to be having a look at how to prompt a fake update. So like before, we're going to type in BG. We're going to use the command use post Windows, and this is going to be phishing really, so it's called fish Windows because it's going to be through a fake update. We need to make sure we spell everything correctly. Fish Windows credentials. Okay, so now that we have done this, okay, we're going to type in options. And now that we have got to this stage here, you'll be able to see we've got a couple of different options which are available here. I'm going to head back over to my slide so you can see this content as well. So what we want to do is we want to type in sessions like before, set session 1 and then run. Now sometimes this fails the first time. So we're going to have a look if it does fail the first time. So we're going to say set session 1. We've only got one session open. If you've got more than one session open, you would need to use session 1, 2, 3, whichever session you want to use. We're going to type in run. We're going to go over to our Windows machine, and now it's going to be prompting them to enter Windows security password. So this will be the administrator or user password for this device here. I'm going to type in my nice secure password. Now, it doesn't matter if my password is weak here, this will work with any password. Now I've typed that in, I'm going to go back over to Kali. And we can see here that we can't actually, sorry for that pop-up, we can't actually see the password right now. And I'm not sure why this fails sometimes. I am doing a little bit of research into this myself. So I'm just going to run this again. I'm going to go back over to my Windows machine, and then this second time here, we should be able to see the password which has been entered. Come back over to Kali, and there you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I hope this video has been really helpful. And before I do forget, I keep saying I'm going to show you how to use privilege escalation. I am going to do that just to top off this video here. So what is privilege escalation? And why might you want to use it? Now, when you are targeting a machine, they may not be the administrator of that computer. So you have successfully phished them, you have got them to download a file, but you don't have admin access. Although they've run the file and installed it, you might still not have admin access to that computer. And if that does happen, you need to use privilege escalation. Okay, so welcome back. So what I'm going to do here is, again, I'm going to log back into my MSF console, so Metasploit, And I'm just gonna run these same commands again so I can log back onto that host machine. So we're using Windows 10 today. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type in, whilst my mouse is playing up through my different screens, here we go. Okay, so we're using set and we're using use, exploit, multi handler. Now that we've done this, we need to set our payload. So set payload. We are using Windows 64-bit architecture. Like the last couple of examples, we're trying to create a meterpreter session, and we're using reverse TCP. We are setting our IP again, and you can obviously skip over this using the time codes. L port 1235 and exploit. Okay, so have to run the file on the Windows 10 machine. Now this time I'm not running as administrator. So imagine they're not administrator, they're not an administrator, they just double clicked. So if this happens, we're not going to have administrator access to the system. So we are going to need to use privilege escalation to make the changes that we want to make to that system that we typically would make as an administrator. So what we need to do here is first of all identify, are we admin? Get UID, this here is not showing NT authority. Okay, if I type in get system, so we're not admin and it can prove it, get system, this is also demonstrating we are not admin. We need to elevate our privileges, so access is denied. So how do we bypass this? Now, in order to bypass this, what we're going to need to do here, like normal, we're going to type in BG, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use another exploit. So we're going to use search, bypass, UAC, which is your user access control. So we want to bypass this user's account to become that administrator, and then it's going to show the different exploits which are available. Now these all pretty much work. I normally use number 11. If number 11 fails for you, try number 4 or 5, or keep trying these, but generally this works on Windows 10, and you can also see a little bit more information about these and obviously the rank of them as well, and also the check. Again, I'm going to use 11. Drop me a message underneath this video if you do have some questions. So I'm going to say use, and I think I'm going to be saying 11. So give me a minute, I'm going to double check everything here, and here we go. So use 11. Okay, so now that I have done this, what I'm going to do is, my notes are sometimes a little bit muddled. I think I'm going to be typing in options here. We need to look at how many sessions we have running. So options. Okay, and this is different from before. Okay, so this is how we're going to bypass that system, right? We're going to be using L port 4444, which is our listening port here. So in order to bypass from standard user to administrator here, what we're going to need to do here is, we are in session number 1 still, so we're going to type in set session 1, unless I've forgotten something. We're going to type in exploit, and then this is going to change us from the standard user to be the admin, and we're bypassing the user access control here, so we are admin. And now when I type in get UID, we're still Dan, but if I type in get system, we will change to be NT authority. So type in get UID again, and here you are. You're now the admin. I do hope that this video has been useful. Do drop me any messages underneath this video if you have any questions. If you are interested in our ethical hacking programs, do get in touch through our domain, which is steamlabs.co.th. Keep an eye on our blog, subscribe to our channel, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video soon.